Both Michelle and Barack Obama spoke at the DNC. Bernie Sanders also spoke. First Gentleman Doug Emhoff spoke about, how he met Kamala Harris and a lot of those personal things. But, the headliners were Michelle and Barack Obama. And, Michelle Obama gave a really personal speech, a lot of praise for her. We will play some of that later in the show. But Obama followed her, and we know this, one of the most gifted orators that we've seen in politics. And what I'm really liking about this moment for the Democrats is that we're past the point of moralizing about the Republicans and this stoic patriotism that Biden and frankly Hillary Clinton seemed to think was effective, of making this voting for Democrats this solemn duty to democracy, and then talking about the threat that Republicans pose in a way that I think makes people turned off to the idea of engaging in politics. The Harris-Walz campaign has decided to lean into the fun of it and lean into actually doing partisanship, running against the Republicans, mocking them. And we'll get to how the Harris campaign did that more specifically, but it seems like Obama kind of got the message. This is going to drive Trump crazy. For just the podcast audience, Obama makes a gesture with his hands here. I'll explain what that means after
it attacks my manhood unfairly, I might add.
Gather here tonight, the people who will decide this election are asking a very simple question. Who will fight for me? Who's thinking about my future, about my children's future, about our future together? One thing is for certain, Donald Trump is not losing sleep over that question. Here's a 78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems since he rode down his golden escalator 9 years ago. It has been a constant stream of gripes and grievances that's actually been getting worse now that he's afraid of losing to Kamala. There's the childish nicknames, the crazy conspiracy theories, this weird obsession with crowd sizes.
There's that gesture. Yeah! His dick is small!
Can we say JD fucks couches? Yes, we can. Can we say Donald Trump has a small dick?
Yes, we can.
Do something.
I love that. Look, I mean, these are little things that I just think are fun because they realize how easy it is to trigger Trump. I mean, what I've loved about what Harris has done as well is she's not making her gender or her race the central focus of her campaign. That's also what struck me when Hillary Clinton spoke, where she's mentioning herself in the same breath as Shirley Chisholm, and I'm a continuation of the legacy. Shirley Chisholm ran for president in 1972 as the first black woman to run for president in this incredibly trailblazing manner. Hillary Clinton.
She's Arkansas, Shirley Chisholm.
You were the first lady, then a senator. I find her, her very self-serving placement of herself in history in that manner, with much more radical and risk-taking figures, to be quite narcissistic. But putting that aside for a second, it also, her tactic played into Trump's hands, where Harris is allowing them to flail about and gnash their teeth about her race and her gender, while she focuses on policies and trying to move the country forward in a way that I just think appeals to people more. And then they're
hysterical sky is falling Chicken Little act that they were running because Biden couldn't get off his ass in campaign.
Exactly. It was a Debbie Downer, and Obama is buying into that, trolling Trump, and yeah, like this will bother him. I'm old enough to remember when he bragged about his penis size during the
First of all,
Republican debates.
there's not even reporting that says it's small. Any reporting available says that it's fine size. It just looks like a toadstool. Okay. Ask Stormy.
The width is just as important as the length. Okay. I'm sorry.
We're in the first half. So
Joe, forgot. Stop calling me chode. All right. Okay. We're in the first half. Anyway, bonk. Tim Walz and the Harris campaign, in the midst of all of this, went to Milwaukee. This was a really smart move. The Republicans held their convention in Milwaukee. They basically packed this entire arena also to trigger Trump and make him lash out. This is an effective strategy, too, because he will lash out about this. On one hand, you have Obama doing that. And then here's Tim Walz speaking before Harris in Milwaukee, again, where the RNC was held last month. So they're packing two arenas at once, the convention in Chicago, then this rally in Milwaukee. And again, another improvement on past campaigns, actually campaigning in Wisconsin. This is, I think, the third time that the campaign has already done events there since the campaign launched last month. So they're doing the work as well of campaigning, appreciative of that from a strategic perspective. Here's Walz talking about Donald Trump.
You know, it was only a month ago that the Republican Party gathered for their convention right here on this very spot. It doesn't sound like any of you watched it, but in case you didn't, after promising us a speech that was going to be about unity and promising that he was a changed man, Donald Trump subjected us to 92 minutes of ranting and raving insanity. Now look, they left here riding high. They were feeling good. This thing was over. Well, trust me, Milwaukee, a hell of a lot can change in 4 weeks. You run a campaign based on fear like them, you're going to run into a little trouble when you run into a campaign that's based on joy. These guys are focused on the past, like the 1850s past. This campaign's focused on your future.
Forward looking. Yeah, and this is, I'm repeating myself, but you know, the thing about Republicans is that pointing out that they're cruel, they're like, yeah, duh.
Yeah, that's why people like us.
We that's the whole point.
We're organized cruelty, yeah.
Right. It's the same thing with pointing out that Trump's a liar. The Republican voters are like, yeah.
It works. Okay, you should try it sometime.
They're like they think all politicians lie because there's such cynicism.
Well, and it's true.
And it's true. But even in just like the notions of democratic change, they don't believe in those things because that would mean believing in something more than self-interest. So they internalize self-interest and callousness and cruelty as virtue. And so when Hillary Clinton and even Biden, who I think, won mostly on the fact that it was the pandemic and Trump was so historically unpopular, when they point that out or focus the campaign on moralizing about that, the Republican base goes, yeah, we want to own that. That's a part of what we want to do. We want to inflict cruelty on groups that are not a part of the existing power structure here. So you play exactly into their hands. And when you act shocked about it, they are emboldened. So this is about drawing a contrast and marginalizing them, marginalizing the bullies, punching back against the bullies. That's how you make them into a joke. That's how you win.
You have to diminish them.
Exactly.
Like, they benefit from you maximizing them and puffing them up. Whereas if you can call them, say, weird, and because for 50 years it's been this, well, this represents a silent majority thing. What that really means is that our electorate is stacked towards a certain type of person, even a little bit maybe reactionary and propertied. And if they can turn
normal.
out, exactly, and if they can turn them out, then they can win elections. But that's a smaller and smaller group of people. And the people that genuinely subscribe to that, they are weird.
Right. And that's what obviously I think has been the best part tactically of how the Democrats have run this time. Make them look uncool. Make them look small.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.